Most people picture Waikiki when they think of Oahu, high-rises, crowds, and hotel beaches. But just 20 minutes over the mountains sits something completely different. This is Kailua, and it's where locals go when they want real beach life. Turquoise water, breezy mornings, and a laid-back rhythm that feels like old Hawaii. Just with better coffee. And in this full tour, I'll show you exactly why Kailua is the #1 beachside community in Hawaii. We're going to cover how it blends world-class beaches with an actual town center. And I'll share what you need to know before you buy or move here, including home pricing, parking, and the weekend crowd pack. I'm Duc Ong, your Hawaii real estate guide. I help people move to Oahu with real local insight, so you can find a community that truly fits your lifestyle, not just the one that looks good online. Let's start with the big picture. Here are 5 reasons Kailua keeps winning as Oahu's ultimate beach town, and why it's become one of Hawaii's most sought-after communities for people who want a real, everyday island lifestyle. Reason number 1, 2 stunning beaches in one town. Kailua isn't just a one-beach town. It's got 2 world-class shorelines just minutes apart. Kailua Beach Park, which is where I am now, stretches more than 2 miles with powdery soft sand and calm turquoise water. Steady trade winds here make it perfect for paddleboarding and kitesurfing on most days. And just right around the corner is Lanikai Beach, which brings that postcard-perfect view. Silky white sand and the moats sitting just offshore. These 2 beaches regularly show up on the list of the best beaches in the world. In fact, Lanikai Beach was once honored as the world's best beach by Condé Nast Traveler, and Kailua Beach was named the best beach in America by Dr. Beach. They're that good. Locals love that both beaches are public, free, and easy to access. You can go for a sunrise walk, swim laps, or launch a kayak any day of the week. On weekends, parking fills up early because everyone from around the island wants to be here. But on a weekday morning, these beaches can be mostly empty. You won't find another town on Oahu where you can live 5 minutes from 2 of the world's top beaches. It's a huge part of why people love living in Kailua. But Kailua isn't only about the beach. It's also about how livable the rest of the town is day to day. Reason number 2. Unlike resort-heavy areas, Kailua has a true local town center with everything you need for daily life. There are no towering hotels or tourist traps here. Instead, you've got cafes, boutiques, grocery stores, food trucks, and yoga studios, all within a few minutes of the sand. There's even a climbing gym at Volcanic Rock Gym. It's the kind of place where you run into neighbors at Kalapa Market while grabbing your morning coffee. You might grab a smoothie at Down to Earth or walk over to the Thursday night farmers market for fresh fruits and live music. And you can do all this without ever getting in a car. Kailua is flat and bike friendly, and the town center is totally walkable. The vibe here is small town friendly, but with some modern upscale touches. You've got farm-to-table restaurants, bike lanes, and locally owned shops that give Kailua a unique character. Everything is geared towards the people who live here, not just tourists. And that keeps it feeling authentic and community-driven. You can live the beach life and still have a neighborhood with real neighbors, not just tourists coming and going. And what makes Kailua even more special is how it's surrounded by nature on all sides. Reason number 3, nature on both sides. Kailua is basically hugged by nature. To the east, there's the open ocean. To the west, the lush Ko'olau Mountains rise up behind the town. There's also Kauai Nui Marsh right next to the neighborhood. It's the largest remaining wetland in Hawaii, home to native birds and peaceful walking paths. So you've got wetlands, mountains, and ocean ecosystems all meeting here. Locals take full advantage of this outdoor playground. Any given day, you'll see people paddling their kayaks out to the Mokulua Islands, hiking the Lanikai Pillbox Trail for some exercise, or biking through shaded back streets under monkey pot trees. The combination of water, greenery, and those steady trade winds gives Kailua a relaxed, healthy outdoor lifestyle. It's easy to stay active when you can surf at sunrise, hike a trail by noon, and be back home for dinner, all without leaving Kailua. And even though Kailua feels like its own little world, it's surprisingly close to town when you need it. Reason number 4, close but separate from town. One of the great things about Kailua is that it feels removed from the hustle, but it isn't remote at all. Kailua is only about 12 miles from downtown Honolulu, connected by the Pali Highway that cuts through the mountain. On a typical day, the drive over the Ko'olau Range is about 20 to 25 minutes. Not bad for a commute. And let me tell you, it's a gorgeous drive that never gets old. You come through a mountain tunnel and emerge to sweeping views of the windward side. It's like a quick tropical escape before and after work. This area is perfect for anyone who might work or go to school in town, but wants to live somewhere quieter, cleaner, and slower paced. In Kailua, you have access to all the big city amenities, good hospitals, well-rated schools, major shopping centers in nearby Kaneohe when you need them, but you come home to a place that feels self-contained and peaceful. It's the best of both worlds. You can surf Kailua Beach before work, put in a day at the office downtown, and still be back over the mountain in time for dinner with the family. You get convenience and tranquility. All that convenience and livability is reflected in Kailua's real estate market, which has stayed strong for a good reason. Reason number 5, stable market and long-term value. Kailua's real estate market is known as one of the steadiest on Oahu. Even when other areas have ups and downs, Kailua tends to hold its value. Why? It comes down to simple supply and demand. There are only so many homes in this beach town, and a lot of people who want one. Limited supply plus high demand equals strong prices. As of late 2025, the median single-family home price in Kailua is hovering around $1.68 million. That's for your typical non-beachfront home in good shape. If you're eyeing the Beachside neighborhood or Lanikai, the luxury spots right near the sand, those homes often range from about $3 million into the 8-figure territory for true oceanfront estates. We're talking 5, 8, 10 million and up for some of those showcase properties. And people who buy here tend to hold on, so you don't see a ton of turnover. Even as interest rates and market cycles fluctuate, Kailua is considered a blue-chip location on Oahu. Homes here appreciate steadily over time. Renovated homes or those within a short walk of the beach command a premium and usually get snapped up quickly. In Kailua, you're not just buying a house, you're investing in a whole lifestyle. Daily access to world-class beaches, a friendly community, and that laid-back island rhythm is built into the value. It's not just an investment in real estate, it's an investment in your lifestyle. So, now that you know what makes Kailua so desirable in general, let's explore the spots that truly capture its personality, the places you'll want to see for yourself. Kailua Beach Park. This is the town's heartbeat, the hub of it all. Kailua Beach Park is the crown jewel of the community, and it's easy to see why. We're talking about 2.5 miles of soft white sand and clear turquoise water. The ocean here is usually calm, with gentle waves that are perfect for families swimming or kids playing. But when the trade winds kick up in the afternoon, you'll see kite surfers and windsurfers out here. You can also kayak from here, hop over to Flat Island, or even to the moats if you're more ambitious. One thing I personally love about Kailua Beach Park is how user-friendly it is. There are lifeguards on duty, plenty of space to lay out, plus restrooms, outdoor showers, and a big parking lot. It's beautiful and practical. If you live nearby, this becomes like your second home. Morning walks, lunchtime dips, weekend barbecues on the grass under the trees. Weekdays, you might find only a handful of people out, almost like a private beach. On sunny weekends, though, this place fills up by mid-morning with families, birthday parties, and people from all over the island. Here's a tip. Get here early on Saturdays if you want a parking spot, or better yet, bike or walk down if you can. There's a reason Kailua Beach is consistently ranked among the best beaches in the world, and unlike some of the world's best beaches that end up just being tourist spots, this one is actually beloved by the locals. It's stunning, and it's part of our everyday lives. Just around the corner from Kailua Beach, the vibe changes a bit. It gets quieter, the sand gets even softer, and the views are something else. Lanikai Beach and the Mokulua Islands. Lanikai is the smaller, more secluded sister to Kailua Beach. Some would say she's the prettier sister too. Lanikai Beach is regularly named one of the most beautiful beaches in Hawaii. And when you get there, you'll see why. It's a half-mile stretch of powdery white sand, and the water is an unreal shade of blue-green, almost neon when the sun hits it. A Become a Sunrise is pure magic. The sun comes up right between the two Mokulua Islands offshore, hitting the whole sky pink and orange. It's one of the best sunrise spots on Oahu, hands down. Lanikai is a residential beach, meaning it's tucked in a neighborhood. There's no official parking lot, no bathrooms, none of that. Access is via narrow footpaths between homes. It feels hidden and exclusive. Because of that, you won't find big crowds if you time it right. On weekdays or very early mornings, Lanikai can be quiet and almost meditative. On weekends or holidays, it does get busy with visitors hunting for parking in the residential lanes, which, by the way, is a challenge. Please respect the parking signs if you do visit. But regardless, there's a kind of peaceful vibe here. The ocean is usually very calm, perfect for a relaxing swim or for floating on a paddleboard. A lot of people launch kayaks from Lanikai to paddle out to the moats, which are right behind me, and it's about a 25-minute paddle each way, and a popular adventure. The beach is super photogenic. Palm trees leaning over the sand, the two islands in the background, crystal clear water. If you scroll through Instagram, you've probably seen Lanikai's view 1,000 times. My advice is to come for the sunrise if you can, and keep your voices down. It really feels like paradise. Now, after you've had your beach fix, you'll want to see what Kailua town itself has going on, because Kailua's charm is also in its community spots, not just the beaches. Kailua Town Center and Kalapa Wide Market. Kailua isn't just beaches and houses. It actually has a really vibrant little town. Just a few minutes from the shore, Kailua town is the heart of daily life here. There's no resort strip or anything. You'll find local favorites like the Kalapa Wide Market, that iconic green market cafe near Kailua Beach, where they brew great coffee and make awesome sandwiches. Then in the center of town, we have places like Morning Brew, a cool coffee house, Over Easy, a fantastic brunch spot, and boutique shops selling everything from beachwear to locally made art. There's also a Whole Foods market and a Target, but the small businesses are the real soul of the town. The layout of Kailua town is super walkable. You can ride your bike from home to grab a latte in the morning, cruise a few blocks to the beach for a swim, and on your way back, pick up some groceries and maybe a plate lunch from a local eatery. That's a pretty typical Kailua day. Everything's close and accessible. There are bike racks everywhere because so many people pedal around town. On Sunday mornings, Kailua has two popular farmers markets, one by Castle Medical Center and the other next to Kailua Town Center. You get all the food trucks, fresh local produce, handmade goodies, and live music. You'll see aunties enjoying the music, kids running around, and neighbors catching up on gossip while buying kale or mangoes. So, Kailua town really gives you that community feeling. It's not just a beach you're going to, it's a town where you bump into friends at the cafe, where the shop owners recognize you, and where there's always something local going on. It's a huge part of what makes living in Kailua feel so special. And when you're ready to burn off that Kalapa Wai sandwich or malasada from the market, the best view in town is just a short hike away. Lanikai Pillbox Trail, Ka'iva Ridge. If you're into a little adventure and a killer view, the Lanikai Pillbox hike is a must-do. Now, don't let the word hike intimidate you. It's relatively short, maybe about 0.8 miles each way, but it is steep in parts, and you might scramble on some rocks. Still, it's doable for most people if you take your time. And the payout at the top is absolutely worth it. There are two old military bunkers from World War II up there. Once you reach the first pillbox, you get a gorgeous panoramic view of Kailua and Lanikai. You're looking down at the entire Kailua Bay, the turquoise water, the reefs, the curve of the white sand beaches, and the moaks popping out of the ocean. If you turn around, you've got the green Kolau Cliffs right behind you. It's one of the most photographed views on Oahu for a reason. You see how the town is nestled between the mountains and the sea, and it really does feel like its own little island world. The sunrise from the pillboxes is spectacular. You watch the sun break the horizon over the ocean. Plus, it's cooler and less crowded early in the morning. People often hike up, watch the sunrise, then hike down and grab coffee in Lanikai or Kailua town right after. Not a bad way to start the day. Couple of important notes. The trailhead is basically in a residential area of Lanikai, so there's no official parking lot. You have to find street parking in the neighborhood, which can be tricky. Be respectful. Don't block driveways, obey all the parking signs, and keep your noise down. Also, the trail can be muddy and slippery after rain, so wear decent shoes. I've seen people attempt it in flip-flops, which is not a good idea. Once you're up there, though, you'll understand why people say Kailua feels like its own world. From that vantage, it's just this perfect blend of town, ocean, and mountains. It energizes you and makes you appreciate the lay of the land here. And after a big morning of hiking or beach going, maybe indulge in some shopping and eating. Local boutiques and creative shops. One of the coolest surprises about Kailua is this thriving scene of local boutiques and creative shops. It's not all big chains here. There's a strong community of small business owners and artisans who have set up shop in Kailua, giving the town a unique flair. For fashion and gifts, places like Olive Boutique and Maunawili offer locally inspired clothing that you won't find on the mainland. And new spots keep popping up, run by young entrepreneurs who surf in the morning and run their shop in the afternoon. Many of these shops are family-owned or started by Kailua residents, and they often emphasize sustainability, reusable goods, locally sourced materials, that kind of thing. It really aligns with the Kailua lifestyle, which is all about simple, sustainable, and stylish living. You'll notice even the boutiques have a laid-back vibe. Nothing too fancy or pretentious, just good quality and island flair. Alongside the boutiques, we've got plenty of yoga studios, little art galleries, and of course, eateries and breweries to keep you fueled while you shop. There's a natural synergy. Do some yoga, grab an acai bowl, browse a shop, chat with the owner, then maybe hit the beach again. Every shop here tells a story. You're not just buying a souvenir. You might be chatting with the designer who made that jewelry or the family that's been shaping surfboards for decades. It makes shopping feel personal and community-oriented. And even if shopping isn't your main interest, popping into these places is a great way to get a feel for Kailua's creative energy and the pride folks have in this town. Now that we've seen some of the best that Kailua has to offer, let's talk about what it's like to actually live here. Because visiting is one thing, but living here day to day is its own adventure. And Kailua has a bunch of different neighborhoods, each with its own flavor. Kailua may look like a small, single town on the map, but on the ground, it's made up of several unique pockets, each with its own layout, price range, and vibe. Let's break down the major neighborhoods of Kailua and what it's like to live in each one. Kailua Flats and Town Core. This area is basically downtown Kailua and the immediate surrounding blocks. It's the flat, walkable part of Kailua, closest to the main shops, restaurant, and Kailua Beach Park. If you live here, you can pretty much leave the car at home most days. Picture charming post-war era houses and bungalows mixed with a few low-rise condos and duplexes, all tucked behind sidewalks lined with plumeria trees. Many of the homes here were built in the 40s and 50s when Kailua really started growing, and you'll see a lot of them nicely maintained or tastefully updated. They tend to have that single-story island ranch look, maybe with a cute front lanai. What's great about the Kailua Town Core is its convenience. You want coffee? You can walk 2 minutes to your favorite cafe. Groceries? Safeway, Whole Foods, Down to Earth, or the weekend farmers market is right there. Beach day, grab your wagon or bike, and you're at Kailua Beach in 5 minutes. It's the kind of neighborhood where kids walk to school or the park, and you'll see retirees on their morning walks to grab a newspaper. There's a strong sense of community because people are out and about. In terms of real estate, because this area is so prime, homes here are in high demand. A typical single-family home, maybe 3-bed, 2-bath on a 5,000 to 7,000 square foot lot, might run in the $1.2 to $1.5 million range, depending on size and how updated it is. If it's a larger property, or newly renovated, or especially close to the beach, it could be higher. There are also a few condo buildings where units might be in the $600,000 to $800,000 range for a 2-bedroom, which is relatively affordable for Kailua. Actually, that reminds me, I helped a client purchase a 2-bedroom, 2-bath condo at Gardenia Manor, right in the heart of Kailua town. which was a smart and more affordable option compared to single-family homes nearby. Since moving off island, they've been able to rent it out easily thanks to the walkable location, strong demand, and Kailua's year-round appeal. If you're looking for a low-maintenance way to invest or live in Kailua without the million-dollar price tag, condos like this are a great option. If you're curious about what's available or want help making a move like this, reach out. I'd be happy to guide you through it. This pocket of Kailua is perfect if your ideal day is waking up and strolling to get coffee, biking to the beach, and being able to walk to dinner at night. It's the epitome of convenience meets beach town living. It's also mostly level ground, which might seem like a small thing, but for older residents or families with strollers, it's nice to not push up hills. If your perfect day starts with coffee and ends with a sunset walk to the beach, and you want to do it all right from your doorstep, the Kailua Flats town area is where you'd want to be. Beachside and Lanikai. Now, let's move over to the luxury areas. The Beachside neighborhood of Kailua and the Lanikai community. These are the areas for those who want the ultimate Kailua beach lifestyle. Beachside generally refers to the residential area on the ocean side of Kalaheo Avenue, which is the main road, near Kailua Beach, basically running north of Kailua Beach Park toward Castle Point. These are quiet residential streets. Think private lanes and cul-de-sacs, many of which have beach access paths or back right up to the sand. Living beachside means you can literally hear the ocean from your yard at night. Many homes here have their own gates, tall hedges, and tropical landscaping for privacy. There's a mix of architecture, older plantation-style beach homes, some mid-century houses, and a good number of rebuilt modern luxury homes with pools and second stories to catch the view. Price tags in beachside start in the low millions and quickly climb from there. Even a smaller, older home here might be $3 million just because of the land value and proximity to the beach. The median home price is just under $4 million based on the past 12 months of rolling data. Larger estates or ones directly on the beach will be many millions more. In fact, 508 North Kalaheo is currently listed for $50 million. It's got 12 beds, 13 baths spanning over 12,000 square feet on a 2.2-acre oceanfront lot. If beachside is not quite in your budget, neighborhoods like Kualei Tract and Kalama Tract could be good options. These neighborhoods are in between Coconut Grove and beachside. These are highly competitive and bidding wars are very common. Then there's the exclusive Lanikai. As a neighborhood, Lanikai is basically one circular loop road of residential streets tucked between the ocean and the mountains. The homes there range from charming beach cottages to jaw-dropping modern architectural beauties. Many properties in Lanikai have direct beach frontage or at least beach access across the street. Waking up in Lanikai often means sunrise over the Mokes right from your bedroom window, which is something people will pay a premium for. We're talking $3 million on the very low end, up to $10 million or more for a trophy property with ocean frontage. It's not uncommon for homes here to be second generation, passed down or held onto for decades, which means inventory is perpetually low. Lanikai has limited parking and one-way traffic. It can get congested on weekends with beachgoers, which is somewhat at odds with how upscale it is. But that's part of its character. It's a true neighborhood, not a resort. Beachside Kailua has a bit easier access since it's closer to the public beach parking and not a one-way loop, but it's still very residential and peaceful. If you live in Beachside or Lanikai, you're living the dream. Sunrise paddle sessions, your own slice of sand to enjoy, and a really tight-knit community. The trade-off, of course, is the cost and maybe a bit of dealing with visitors in your area. But that's the price of paradise. As a resident, you also tend to become a bit of a steward of the area, advocating for the preserving of the beach and controlling traffic. It's a passionate community. Waking up here means paddling out before work and coming home to the sound of the waves at night. If that's the vision you have for yourself, then Beachside or Lanikai is where you're aiming. It's basically Kailua life in luxury mode. Enchanted Lake and Kaelepulu. Now, shifting gears to a different vibe. Let's go inland a bit to Enchanted Lake. also known by the actual lake's name, Kaelepulu Pond. This is a favorite area for families and folks who want a balance of the Kailua lifestyle with a little more of a typical suburban feel. Enchanted Lake is a neighborhood built around a real lake in Kailua. It's not huge, but it's a sizable body of water that some lucky homes back onto. If you have a lakefront home, you might have a small dock for your canoe or paddle boat, and you can paddle around in this calm waterway that eventually connects out to Kailua Beach via a stream, though there's a flood control gate, so it's mostly closed off. It's pretty unique. Not many places on Oahu have lakefront living. The vibe in Enchanted Lake is relaxed and residential. It's away from the tourist paths, so you won't find too many outsiders driving through. You'll find mostly single-family homes, often single-story, on decent-sized lots. Many were built in the 60s and 70s. A typical home might be a 3 or 4 bedroom with a grassy yard and maybe a mango or a plumeria tree right out front. A lot of original owners lived here for decades, so some houses are still older in style, but plenty have been renovated as new families move in. There are also a few townhouse complexes around the edges of Enchanted Lake that provide some multifamily options at slightly lower price points, like maybe $800,000 to $1 million for townhome. Prices for single-family homes here generally range from around the low $1 millions up to maybe $1.8 million for a larger remodeled home or one with lake frontage. The median price is roughly $1.7 million, which is a notch down from the Beachside Lanikai prices, making it attractive for people who want to be in Kailua but can't quite stretch to be right on the beach, or those who prefer the space and quiet over prestige. You often get a bit more yard, more house for your money in Enchanted Lake compared to something in the town core. For example, for the price of a smaller, older beach cottage near Kailua Beach, you could get a bigger 4-bedroom house with a pool in Enchanted Lake. This area is very family-friendly. There are good schools nearby, such as Enchanted Lake Elementary and Kailua High. Streets are calmer, good for kids playing or riding bikes. There's also a community center and park areas scattered about. And you're still only 5 to 7 minutes drive from Kailua Beach or the town center. So, you're not remote at all, just a bit removed, which many see as a plus. You ask longtime Kailua residents, many will say Enchanted Lake is where local families put down roots. It's less glitzy than living by the beach, but it's super comfortable and still has all the benefits of Kailua. The breeze, the scenery, access to everything, minus the heavy tourist presence. If you want Kailua living without dealing with beach parking overflow on your street every weekend, Enchanted Lake is kind of the sweet spot. It's where a lot of locals graduate to when they want a larger home or yard but still love Kailua. Keolu Hills and Maunawili. Next, let's head up towards the hills for those who enjoy a cooler climate and mountain scenery. Keolu Hills is basically the hillside above Enchanted Lake, and Maunawili is a valley neighborhood on the other side of Kailua, tucked right against the mountains near the Pali Highway. Both offer a bit of elevation, which means a bit more rain, but also some stunning views and breezes. Starting with Keolu Hills, as we drive up Keolu Drive, you'll notice the elevation gain. Homes here are on the slope, so many have views looking out over Enchanted Lake and toward the ocean. Even partial ocean glimpses can be found from second stories or decks. The trade-off is you're not as walkable to the beach or town, but you are within a quick drive of them, and you get that peaceful residential feel up here. Houses in Keolu Hills were mostly built around the 60s and 70s, but because they're on a hill, you see more 2-story homes, or homes built to maximize views. A lot of these have been updated or expanded over time. Yards can be a bit bigger or more terraced since it's on a hillside. Also, being a bit higher up, you catch more of the cool trade winds. No need for AC on most days. Prices in Keolu Hills might range around $1.2 to $1.5 million for a typical home. The median price here is about 1.4 million. It's slightly more affordable than equivalent homes down on the flats because some folks prioritize walking distance to the beach, but for those who value space and views, Keolu is awesome. There's a nice neighborhood feel. People walk their dogs along the residential roads, and you'll see kids skating or biking. Because it's a hillside, some driveways are at an incline, and when it rains, water will flow down toward the lake. Now, Maunawili is on the opposite side of Kailua, up against the Keolu mountain range on the town's west side. If you've ever heard of Maunawili Falls, which is a popular waterfall hike, that's up in this valley. Maunawili is lusciously green. It gets a bit more rain since it's right by the mountains, but that also means rainbows and a cooler climate. It's a quiet, somewhat upscale neighborhood with a rural feel. No through traffic because the valley ends where the mountains rise. The homes here are on larger lots, often 10,000 square feet or more, and you'll see a mix of older, larger homes from the 70s and some beautiful, newer builds. It's common to have big yards with fruit trees and to hear chickens or see wild parrots even. It really feels like country living, yet you're 5 minutes from Kailua town. Maunawili's location near the Pali Highway makes it a favorite for commuters who work in Honolulu but want that verdant, peaceful home life. You basically hop on the highway and you're over the hill in no time. And because there's essentially one road in and out of Maunawili, it doesn't get random traffic. Only residents and their guests go in there. Home prices in Maunawili are comparable to Kailua in general, with a median price around 1.8 million. The difference is you often get more land or house for that money than you would closer to the beach. It's a good trade-off if you prefer space and privacy over being walking distance to the ocean. Both Keolu Hills and Maunawili offer a slightly different flavor of Kailua. More privacy, more nature, a bit removed from the tourist areas. Some people love being just that little bit further out. You can always drive 10 minutes to the beach when you want it, but then retreat to your quiet haven in the hills. It's still Kailua, friendly, laid back, just with a lot more trees and maybe the sound of rain on your roof at night instead of ocean waves. It's the same Kailua charm, just with more space and serenity. A lot of folks find their forever homes up here for that reason. Coconut Grove and Old Kailua. Last but not least, let's talk about one of the oldest and most character-rich parts of Kailua, Coconut Grove. If Kailua had an old town section, this is it. And it's one of the first areas in Kailua that had major residential development, dating back to before World War II and into the 40s and 50s. What you'll find here are smaller lots, narrow streets, some just one lane in each direction, lined with cars and coconut trees, and a lot of single-wall, plantation-style homes. These are those classic island houses, single-story, often with a post and pier foundation, simple layouts, maybe a carport or a tiny garage, if at all. Some have board and batten wood exteriors and tin roofs. They might not look like much by mansion standards, but they exude charm and a sense of history. Many of the families here have been in Kailua for generations, so you get that long-time resident vibe. Coconut Grove is more affordable than most of the rest of Kailua, which also means we're seeing a wave of renovation and rebuilding. It's not uncommon now to see a lovingly restored cottage next to a brand new 2-story home. That mix gives the neighborhood an interesting look. Prices for an old, tear-down house on a small lot might start just under $1 million, but most move-in ready homes here now are around the $1 million to $1.2 million mark. If someone builds new, they might sell for $1.5 million or more, depending on the size of the lot. The median price is around $1.25 million. What I love about Coconut Grove is the old Hawaii charm. You'll see kids playing in the street, lots of local-style homes with personality, and some chickens roaming around. It's not manicured or HOA controlled. Some houses have funky colors, some yards are overgrown, others are gorgeous with tropical landscaping. And the location is great. You're still super close to Kailua town's shops and about a 5-minute bike to the beach. For new buyers who maybe can't splurge on a Lanikai estate but want to be in Kailua, Coconut Grove is appealing. You might have to put in some renovation work, but you also get to be part of a historic neighborhood. And the upside potential is there too. People are adding value by fixing up houses, and the neighborhood is steadily rising in popularity. Coconut Grove is kind of where Kailua's story started as a residential community, and many would say it's still the heart of Kailua's local identity. It's unpretentious, warm, and full of aloha. You might hear your neighbor playing the ukulele on a Sunday afternoon, or smell someone barbecuing 2 doors down. It's a place where the modern world meets old island life. So, whether you're drawn to the prestige of Lanikai, the family-friendly calm of Enchanted Lake, the breezy privacy of the hills, or the old-school charm of Coconut Grove, Kailua offers a lifestyle that's nearly impossible to replicate anywhere else in Hawaii. There's obviously a lot more to this than I can cover in one video. So, if you want help sorting it out, just text me. No pressure. So, here's the bottom line. A lot of people moving to Oahu focus on the big name areas like Waikiki, Kahala, Ko'olina, and sometimes they overlook Kailua at first. Some people bought in busy Honolulu neighborhoods and realized later that what they really wanted is this Kailua lifestyle. The morning beach runs, the small town community vibe, the extra space to breathe. They may have paid top dollar for a condo in Waikiki or a house on a tiny lot, when for the same money they could have had a home in this beach town paradise. Honestly, Kailua isn't a secret, and competition for homes here can be fierce. When a good listing pops up, you need to be ready. On beautiful weekends, Kailua is full of people coming to enjoy the beaches, so there's traffic. It's hard to find parking, and it's not always peaceful and empty. But that's the trade-off you accept for living in paradise. From Monday to Friday, it's your idyllic community, and even on the busy weekends, you're still the person who lives here. You know the back roads, you know to hit the beach at 7 a.m. and the farmer's market by 8, and then let the day trippers take the midday sun. Kailua gives you that balance. A world-class beach in your backyard, a genuine small town at your doorstep, community that cares, and a long-term value that tends to just keep growing, both financially and in terms of how much you appreciate living here. Living in Kailua is an investment in a lifestyle. It's waking up happier because the sky is pink and the ocean's glassy. It's your kids being able to bike to their friend's house or to school. It's knowing your neighbors and feeling a part of something. And yeah, it's also knowing that 10 years down the line, your property will likely be worth more because places like this are always in demand. I'm Duc Ong, your Hawaii real estate guide. I truly love helping people discover the side of Oahu that fits their life. Maybe it's Kailua, maybe it's another corner of the island. But the key is having that local insight so you end up in a community that feels like home. If you're thinking about moving to Oahu or just want to chat more about what it's actually like to live in Kailua, reach out anytime. Call, text, or email. I'm always happy to talk story and share what I know. If you're not quite ready, check out my 30-page Oahu relocation guide by scanning the QR code or clicking the link in the description below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.